73% of all registered voters in the U.S. say they plan to tune in to the debate tomorrow night. And that doesn't include a big number of non-voters who will be watching in fascination from the sidelines. Of debates, George W. Bush once said, "I don't think you ever win them, but you can darn sure lose them." This time, who wins and loses may prove pivotal. Scott Thuman reports on the history of must-see political TV.
Good evening. The television and radio
On September 26, 1960, more than 70 million Americans tuned in to see Senator John Kennedy go toe-to-toe with Vice President Richard Nixon.
This is a great country.
The optics were everything. Kennedy was tanned and rested while Nixon was pale, underweight, and sweaty.
While I don't think the debates really moved the needle very much, they ended the narrative that Kennedy wasn't prepared.
Alan Lichtman is a political historian and professor at American University in Washington, D.C.
He was so factual. He was so on point. He was so knowledgeable.
Kennedy's knockout performance not only helped seal his candidacy, but also cemented the role of TV in making or breaking the candidates. And it's the mistakes.
There is no Soviet domination of Eastern Europe.
The gaffes.
Before we go to deployment on the Midget Man missile or on the Minute Man, whatever it is, we're going to have to, the MX, we're going to have to do that. It's Christmas.
It's Christmas.
It's Christmas.
And the one-liners.
There will be a giant sucking sound going south.
That have come to define the debates.
I am not going to exploit for political purposes my opponent's youth and inexperience.
While Reagan's zinger ended what Lichtman calls the negative narrative about his age, he says Al Gore's performance in 2000 only enhanced his.
You're too overwrought, you're too overblown, you exaggerate things. And with all his incredibly deep sighing in a debate.
There's differences.
With his kind of standing up and trying to intimidate George W. Bush.
But can you get things done?
All he did was advance the negative narrative that was already in place.
Lichtman says with polls showing Clinton and Trump neck and neck, tomorrow's debates are more high stakes than usual.
Both candidates have such high negatives and so much to prove.
How important is it that they just get out clean?
It shouldn't be important at all that they just avoid a gaffe. I think one of the big problems with media coverage, it's like the way they cover NASCAR. They're looking for the accident. Everybody makes mistakes. What candidates should be judged on is their knowledge, their vision, their values, their experience, their truthfulness.
But in a campaign where truthfulness has been a constant casualty,
I did not send classified material, and I did not receive any material that was marked or designated classified, which is the way
Lichtman says
you know
that standard seems unlikely.
Hillary Clinton and her campaign of 2008 started the birther controversy.
We have in Donald Trump a completely unprecedented candidate who has become known for making things up, for playing hard and fast with the truth. And then, of course, you have Hillary Clinton. People wonder what she stands for, and people wonder if she's too secretive and not being honest enough with the American people. So you've got some pretty negative narratives going for both candidates that they've got to make sure don't become a tidal wave after the debates.
We've seen a lot of show business in this election so far, haven't we? Is this going to be a continuation of that?
Donald Trump is the master of showbiz. But the question is, will that play in debates? Everyone that you interview says, we are looking for substance. We don't care about the flash. That's what the voters tell you. Well, these debates will be the test of how much they really mean that.
So we said about 3/4 of registered voters, more people who aren't registered to vote, but among the registered voters, how many does that boil down to?
Well, there are about 146 million registered voters nationwide. You do the math, you end up with 106 million expected to watch. That's approaching Super Bowl status. And on the conservative side, some people are saying at least 80 million will tune in.
All right. Thanks, Scott Thuman. Appreciate it. Still ahead on Full Measure. Wildfires burning out west are an ongoing natural disaster. Both the fires and cost of fighting them are spinning out of control, and some claim Congress is fiddling while the West burns.